everyone, welcome back to Virtual Motorheads. If you are a subscriber on my channel or you've seen the video, a couple of weeks ago I released a review on the Moza CM2 Racing Dash that was released just a little bit over a month ago. But I never showed you how to custom design your own dashboards, and this is what this video is all about. If you haven't seen the other video, there's a link at the top right now, and there will be a link in the description below. So do go check it out if you haven't seen the new Moza CM2 Racing Dash. But in this video, there's going to be some disappointments as well, because this allowed me, designing my own dash allowed me to go into the Moza CM2 Racing Dash in detail. And I tried it out with various games. And to be honest, I was quite disappointed. So I'm hoping that Moza is watching this video, because the power lies in their hands to fix this and give us the dash that we all would like it to be. All right, so up next, let's check out how to design your own dash. Virtual Motorheads. Okay, so I'm sitting in front of my PC where we will be designing our first dashboard together. But before I jump into the Moza Dashboard Studio, I first want to show you this one link. It's mozaracing.com/dash community. And as you can see, there's already a couple of new dashboards that's been released. I'm not a fan of these round, what you call it, gauges. It is so small on the dashboard. My personal opinion, don't even bother. But you can see there's a couple of funky ones here. But I would suggest download them and install them, because I'm about to show you that you don't always have to reinvent the wheel to create what you want. Okay, I will put a link to this site in the description below. Right here in front of us, we've got the Moza Patel software. And yeah, if you have a dashboard and you have if you have either the CM2 Racing Dash or you have the new FSR2 wheel, then you'll see this section right here where you can design your own dashboards. But what I want to show you is that you don't have to start with a blank canvas thinking, oh, how am I going to do this? What am I going to put on the dashboard? I mean, there's so many dashboards out there. You've got so much inspiration out there to do whatever you want. But I'm going to show you one that I've designed. It is my VM GT3 Dash, I call it. You can see I've got my little logo there as my first screen, but I mean, you can just swipe right and then you can jump right to the actual dash. This took me a while, but I call them assets. I've taken assets from dashboards and SimHub. So let me quickly show you how I do that. Okay. I'm in SimHub, so you go to SimHub Dash Studio. Now I've got quite a few dashboards here. I'm a big SimHub fan. Pity that this Moza CM2 Racing Dash doesn't support it, but hopefully with time it will. But let's say I like, scroll up a little bit. Let's say I like TSR-3.11. So you go to more, edit dashboard. Now, not everything is accessible on these dashboards. I don't know how these guys always make them. But sometimes you do have it that you see, like I can't click on any of these things because it's a widget. I've never designed a dashboard in SimHub. But if there's graphics on here that I really like, hopefully it's under this little tab, Dashboard Images. If you click on that, you'll see there's quite a few, I like to call it assets, that you can use. If you like the layout, I mean like this frame here, if you like it, and these blocks here at the bottom. Export it and use it on your Moza CM2 racing dash, and that is exactly what I did, and I'll show you. Let's open another one. Let's have a look at the, I say I'm a fan of the TWF dashboards. Yo, they are absolutely amazing. Let's open the TWF Dash Lite. Have a look at the dashboard here. Go to edit dashboard. I mean, you can see a lot of love and passion went into these dashboards. I am absolutely crazy about it. So let's click on that one. I like these little pictures, you know, rain lights, high beam, low beam, and your indicators. So if you go to dashboard images, fortunately those pictures aren't there, but you've got other assets you can use here. I think for one of them I used the background, but you can use these to make your dashboard more exciting. Okay, let's close that. So you just right click on it and you say export image. You see that, and you can export it to any folder on your PC. Okay, yes, these dashboards are amazing. Okay, let's close this, and we're gonna open up a blank canvas, and then I'll show you how easy it is to put your own dash together. So right here in front of me, I've got the Moza Dashboard Studio. Let's jump into the first design. Okay, and let's also create a brand new dashboard. Let's just call it Dashboard Tutorial. Why is this a circle? There we go. That was funny. Okay, so let's go back to my little dash there. As you can see, I've got my screen. Well, there's my one screen, the first one. There's my actual dash. Yeah, I didn't give all these properties, these images, I didn't give them their own names, but I mean, I'll show you how to do that, because that actually makes it much easier to know what is where, and if you need to hide something to work on something else. As you can see, you can hide it. You can click on your element and you can just hide it if you are happy with it. You can also lock it in place so that you can't accidentally move it. I would suggest that once you are happy with the placement of one of your elements, lock it in place, because sometimes you click and then then you drag it somewhere else and you have to drag it back, and then it becomes a slip. Okay, so let's hide a few things here, and I want to show you what I've done, and then we can give it proper names as well. And I'm going to take you through why I decided on this dash and why I decided on the layout, etc. Okay, so now it looks like I've got a blank dash as well. So that is a background image. So it's locked, so now I can't select it, but I can select it. If you've got a blank canvas, now you can literally copy and paste whatever you want to your dashboard. Look at that, copy and paste. There's the image. So I'm going to drag everything over to this new dash and explain to you why I chose those elements. And I mean, this screen can be locked in place. This never needs to move. Let's see what other images here. No, that's not the one. Let's just drag them all in. So these are all, I love that frame. So these are all images that I got from SimHub, and I tweaked them a bit in Photoshop, changed their color. But yeah, in order for you to drag it, you have to unlock them. Okay. You can also copy them all. Control A. Copy. Go to this dash. Paste. Off we go. So we're happy with those. We lock them in place. There we go. You don't want that to move. Because our images, I'm happy with the way I've designed it. So I'm not going to fiddle with any of these settings, but these settings, you can see width and height, This determines the size of the image that you've dragged onto the dashboard design studio. Here you can pick the image. I've got a whole bunch of images on my PC here that I have downloaded to use on my dashboards. I like especially these LEDs. You can see there's a LED off, and then there's a green one, a blue one, a red one, white, yellow. You can also use this for flags. I mean, red flag, blue flag, green flag, white, yellow flag, whatever you want. You'll see that I've used a little green LED for my ignition, so that I can see that my ignition is on. These things are readily available on the internet, so you can just go search for them to find the pictures that you want for your dash. Okay, but let's leave that now, close that. Let's go back to our dash design. Cool, so now we've got those images. Next up, the gear. Very important. It's always nice to have it in the center, but now I want to show you something. If you go here to the right hand side, you'll see there is FX here. We can enter a formula. So because the gear is text, you click there, you can see there's a telemetry.get v1 game data gear dot value, and the result format must be the gear. Simple. Just keep it like that for the gear. I will go into more detail for the other telemetry, and that's where things get interesting. Confirm. So let's copy the gear across. You can see, so it will literally copy it from the existing dash, your cheat dash, to the new one. Linear gauge 1 and 2. Now I'll tell you what this is. Throttle and brake. I like to see how much I'm braking, and I like to see how much throttle I'm giving on my dash. You can see, so I got these two from another dash. Let me quickly show you. Go to Moza. You're going to see this dash has some very similarities to mine, and that's where I got the idea, because I think they also copied this from one of those sim-up dashes. So let's quickly edit this one, so I can just show you where I got it from. I just changed the colors. Here you go. So there's the throttle and the brake. I just copied it from this dashboard. Let's go back to my dash. Tell you what, I'm just going to move the screen down for the purpose of this video. Okay, so I love having the brake and the throttle. You can see there's a few things here that's been set. I'm not going to mess around with it, but the value is the important part. The value is the important part. That's probably linked to your brake percentage telemetry. So let's have a look at it. Yeah, times 100. Okay, you see, these kind of things we won't know. So they're using telemetry brake value times 100. It works perfectly. So clearly it goes from 1 to 10. We wanted to go from 1 to 100. It works absolutely perfectly. The throttle, we can go to the value on the side here, and you can see, yeah, game data, throttle, value. Let's copy the brake. There we go. And let's copy the throttle. As you can see, it's easy as that. Do not design the thing from scratch. You don't need to, unless you really want to. It's going to take you a long time, that I can guarantee you. And unless you're that kind of person who loves to play around with these kind of things. I've got a full-time job, so I don't have time to mess around with this. So I'll rather look at other dashboards out there and create something that works for me. Okay, so let's lock them in place on the new dash. Next up, I want to show you these two. So I've had a sim-up dashboard where I can actually see, it's almost like spotters, left and right. Instead of it telling me someone on your left, someone on your right, these red images will flash left and right. Now, this doesn't work. I'm going to show you the telemetry that I've used, and I'll show you the one that I've tried. So visibility. spotted car left angle. Value equals 1. This is what I use for everything to make it visible. I'll show you what I did for the ignition as well. But this is supposed to work, unless I'm doing it wrong. So this does not work. It doesn't work in ACC, it doesn't work in Automobilista 2, it doesn't work in Assetto Corsa. I don't see it. Yet I've got a dashboard in SimUp where this works perfectly. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. So let's just hide those two for now. So now I started adding text. When you want to add text like that, see it adds it to the top there. You can drag it wherever you want. You can change the font size. You can change the font. They give you a couple of fonts here that you can use. As you can see, it changes in the box. Just make it smaller so it fits in there. Yeah. So that's how you drag the text. Get your text onto your dashboard. But let's delete that one. We don't need it. Now I'm going to add all the bottom ones here. Wow, got a lot of stuff, huh? This took me a long time. That's why I didn't want to design this from scratch here with you where I talk for 40 minutes. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. So what you can do, because now you can see the text, it just says speed. I don't know why it says speed. I don't know what it is for, what it does, but this linear gauge here at the top, now I can just say it's my throttle and it will change this here on the side. Check it. That one is my brake. Now why would I not do that? Make my life easier for when I want to modify this dashboard. So what I've done is I've given every single one of these elements a specific name so that it's easy to see when I click on one, because as you can see there's a lot of them on here. By the way, Moza, what would be nice is to have like a count of elements. I don't see anything here. Maybe just like elements, total number of elements. That'll be nice. Everyone likes stats. Let's get the text in there so I can show you how the telemetry works. So let's grab ABS text, fuel. By the way, you're holding the control key on your keyboard as you select these items. So I'm going to copy them. I see there's one thing missing, ABS text. There, ABS and brake. Yeah, there we go. All of them selected. Copy them. Let's go to our new dash and we paste. There we go. So let's have a look at traction control. Click on your little FX button there. You can see it uses the telemetry traction control level. My output is raw. We can change it to 0, but as you can see, it shows you what the raw result will look like and then what the processed result will look like. Same with ABS. ABS level telemetry. Brake bias. Brake bias telemetry. Format is 0.0. You can make it 0, but I think let's stick to 0.0. And then fuel, this specific fuel element is the fuel that remains in your tank. It's always nice to see that, to know where you need to put and how much fuel you'll need to put in. Okay, so those are straightforward. Let's go back to our VM3 dash. Next items we're going to look at the ignition, wipers. Let's just get the images as well. See how much easier it now is to find them. There's the ignition. So this is cool. I've used ignition off and ignition on. You can see I've got two images here, which you just overlay over each other. But you'll have to put down the first one before you put the other image over it. Just that you can see these are two images. So you just put the one over it. So let's quickly look at our ignition off telemetry. So if you go to your visibility, see the visibility is the one that I set here. Engine ignition. When the value equals 0, it should be switched off. I'm not too sure what this raw result equals to, but yeah, if it's off, that's the one that must show. If it's on, that's when the value equals 1. So you see, these are the kind of things that you need to know how to use. Moza didn't really tell us how to use it, so you're going to have to figure this out by looking at existing dashboards That's why you should always have a little cheat dashboard opened up so that you can use its telemetry JavaScript. By the way, this JavaScript is very simple. I'm a software developer which is my full-time job, and you cannot use proper JavaScript in here. It doesn't work, which is a bit of a letdown, because you can really write awesome code formulas to get your specific data back if you could write proper JavaScript in here. Doesn't happen, and I'll show you later what I mean. Okay, so that's your ignition. So let's copy the ignition buttons across. And the ignition, I'm just going to copy the ignition and the wipers text, wipers and engine images. Go to our dash, copy and paste. I just want to show you the wipers telemetry, how cool that is. So this I got off another dash. So it's just JavaScript that checks if the value is 1, show it, 0, don't show it. But you could also just have equals equals. What? That'll also change the visibility if you switch your wipers on. Engine, that's engine failure or engine damage, same thing. It's 1, show it, otherwise 0, don't show it. Straight forward. Let's lock them in place. Let's get our speed, kilometer per hour text, RPM text. So I'm going to select all of these. Copy. Wait, there's one more. Copy. Go to our dash. Awesome. Okay. Let's quickly look at what I tried to do here. So it tries to calculate. It tries to calculate how much fuel you need to finish the race. I actually renamed this wrong. This must say, sorry, fuel required to finish race. So that's actually what it's supposed to be called, but it doesn't work. Even though there's no errors in this formula, it just stays at 0. But you can have a look at this. It uses session time left value divided by 60 times fuel consumed per lap divided by best lap time divided by 60. So yeah, I tried something here. Maybe you can, if someone figured out how to do this, you can tell me in the comments, but it looks like you cannot do complex formulas in this JavaScript window, which is just quite sad. So I'm leaving it on there. I'll probably replace it with something else at a later stage, or maybe it will just start working with the Moza update. Okay. RPMs, this is just a background image, same speed background image, but let's go to the RPM text. You can see it's also got a formula here, just telemetry data, RPM, and it's measured in thousands. Same with speed, kilometers per hour. Let's go to the text there. You can see it uses telemetry get speed kilometers per hour. It also has miles per hour if you're American. But yeah, it's got kilometers per hour. If you open it up, speed, you can see there miles per hour. Okay, easy as that. Let's close that. Next up, we have all of our lap times, gap in front. I'm going to enable all of them so that you can see. Let's copy them over. Holding your control button, copy them over. Let's go to the dashboard, paste. Okay, gap in front, I found this on one of the other dashboards. If you go look at it, it says gap. But this does not work. Doesn't work in ACC, doesn't work in Automobilista 2, doesn't work in Assetto Corsa. Very disappointing. But if you go look here, if you try to search for gap, it's not in the list. So looks like it's something that's going to come. So I'm going to leave it there. But right now, it doesn't work. But current lap works nicely. There you go. Current lap time is your telemetry setting. And then, yeah, minutes, seconds, and what's that? Milliseconds. Okay. Last lap, same thing. Last lap time, telemetry. Best lap time, telemetry. Very, very straightforward. These work in all games. Next up, we're going to be looking at the tires. So let's enable all of this. This was a fun one. I'm going to show you something really cool. There's our tires. So let's look at these images. So this color actually changes, but there's a trick to it. To get this rounded corners, you can just play with the corner radius. To change the color of this shape, you can use the fill. But check here, I've made it that there's 6 different colors as the tire temperature changes. Let me show you. So it uses, for each of the tires you'll see, and I'm not going to go through every single one, but for each of the tires you'll see that there's a tire temp front left, tire temp front right, tire temp rear left, tire temp rear right. But what I've done here is, and I've actually used ChatGPT to help me, and I told it I want, how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors depending on the temperature. So if it's below 60, it's going to be purple. 60 and below is going to 60 degrees Celsius and below, it's going to be purple. 70 and below is going to be, I think it's like cyan. Then 80 is going to give me like a nice green color. 90 is going to go to orange, and yeah, 105 and up is going to be red. Too hot. So this works really well, and I believe it works for all games as well. Okay, so I've done this for every single one, as you can see. Very, very cool. I've got the tire pressure text as well. You look there, got tire pressure front left. I think it's how many bars, I'm not sure. They've got different for different units depending on the country. I've got tire pressure here. There's setting for that as well. Yeah, bar and KPA. Mine is currently set to bar. Just want to show you, same with tire. See, tire temperature Celsius, and then for you folks in America, we've got Fahrenheit. Just make sure you choose the right one for you. Okay, tires are really cool. I love the fact that I can see that immediately on my dash. Okay, what else is there? I like to show the time on my dash. So sometimes we play late at night, and this will show you what time it is. So if you can see it right there on the dash, then you know, oh, sure, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I need to go to bed, or 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever. So I love having that on my dash. I decided to put that there. I'll just show you what the time telemetry looks like before we copy it over. Let's look at the seconds. You'll see it says just telemetry get preset second. Minute, same thing, minute. An hour will be hour. Okay, so let's lock these in place on my dash as well, but let's copy them across. There we go. Save that so long. Just lock that one. See, I didn't lock that one. Okay, something else that I like is my current lap and total laps. Let's copy that across and we can look at the telemetry quickly. So current lap, straightforward. Current lap, telemetry setting. Total laps, straightforward. Okay, not straightforward, but called current lap count. how many laps you're gonna be racing. So unfortunately, this does not work for timed races, and there's no setting for time, so that you can see how much time is left of the race. That would have been nice. I don't even know if that's a setting that gets sent by the games, but it's not available. So for laps, this works perfectly well. Okay, let's lock those in place. Let's have a look at current position. Straightforward, current pause. That'll show you your current position on track, number of opponents, opponent count. That will show you how many opponents. So this is very nice to see if you are 5th out of 10 or 5th out of 15th. Works really, really well. Okay, here I've got the lights. So here once again I've got 3 images, which I've modified them a bit in Photoshop. High beam off, low beam off, rain light off. And what I did here is I just put them behind the on. So this will always be there, but as soon as the light comes on, you see that? Here I had to go set the visibility again. That if high beam light value equals 1, then it must show that image. Same for rain light. If it's on, rain light value equals 1. Low beam off, low beam light value equals 1. Unfortunately, there's not a telemetry available to show me that my lights are on. So what happens is when you flash your lights, these go on. When your lights are on, they do not go on. I don't understand. This is very strange. So I don't know if it's telemetry that, it must be telemetry that Moza doesn't have at the moment. So these are really things that they need to look at. So let's lock them in place before we copy them over. Then last, I like to show a pit limiter on screen. Have a look at this. Give it a nice little frame. And there's my pit limiter text. I should actually change that. Pit limiter text. Okay. Got the frame and the text. So what happens is as soon as you switch on your pit limiter, this will be on screen. You can even go as far as make it blink. This is cool. So now it will flash. So you can just use this blink enabled, and you can set the delay how fast you want it to blink. Let's leave it on 250. You can also set the opacity. Lots of things you can play around with. I'm not going to go through all of this. The fun is figuring it all out. Okay. So let's just set that blinking so we can see it in game. Blink enabled. There we go. Let's lock that in place. Save it on my dash. Copy. Paste. Let me just show you the visibility. Pit limiter telemetry value equals 1. So I had to do that for the frame, and I had to do that for the actual text. Right, and you can see the text has the frame color, which you can make any color as you see fit. But I like yellow, so I'm keeping it yellow. Guys, that's it. That's it for a dashboard design. As you can see, it actually takes long. I wanted this video to be way shorter than this, but then I would have had to skip through certain of the elements. And I wanted you to see how I designed the dash from beginning to end. What we can quickly do is just look at the settings here at the top. I mean, you can see that Moza even cut off the text here, man. It's like, to me, look there, you can't even see intersection selection. So this is very rushed. Check, look there, linear gauge, all those are cut off. So whichever developer worked on this, it's disappointing, man. It feels like they've released an unpolished product. We are actually not finished. I apologize. Let's add another screen here. Very easy to add multiple screens. You change your screens by swiping left and right. Okay, but I'll also show that to you later on the dash. Let's go back to my dash. Second screen, just because I can, I've just put my speed, RPMs and my gear again there, my little virtual Motorheads logo there at the top, and then the track or the map element. This works really well. Shows you where all the cars are on track. Here at the bottom, this is not so nice, but it's supposed to display the track name, but it looks like it uses the file name of the game. Anyways, I'm leaving it there. And then also the track temperature. Funny enough, this does not work in all games. It works really well in ACC, I think we'll have to have a look at it. But yeah, track temp. And then this is also just the degrees Celsius text. Americans, you can change it to Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's the second page. And then of course, I had my little logo here in the beginning, which we can just move up again. That's it. But let's copy all these elements and put them on that. Just want to show you, look how easy this is. If you want to copy anything from an existing dash, boom, there it is on our dashboard tutorial dash. Love it. So now once you've saved your dash, you can say upload dash, and there it is. Okay, so like I said, you can edit the dash on this side. I wouldn't edit it here because these are all loaded onto the dash, so be very careful. So you can edit the dash, do whatever you want. There's so many settings here. I mean, here they've got 3 linear gauges, and I believe the one will be the clutch. Let's just have a look. Yeah, clutch telemetry. You can play around, see how it works, save it in your dash, upload it, use it in game. But yeah, it will take me a very long time to go through all of this, and I do not want to go into that detail. But I've shown you the gist of it. Here you can see the maps, works for, there's AC, ACC, iRacing, all the Formula 1 games, Race Room, Project Cars 2 and Project Cars. Project Cars 2, you'll use that, yeah, that's for Automobilista 2 as well. You can add videos to your dash. I don't know why you want to do that. Then there's sliders. I don't know why you would want to have sliders on the dash. Buttons that you can press on the dash. I don't know why you would want to do that. They probably did that because I saw that SimHub can do it as well. But for this type of dash, I wouldn't add any buttons on there. Charts, you can have charts probably while you're racing. I don't know, I would have time to look at that. So these kind of things are a complete waste of time. Then here you've got all your engine, fuel pressure, fuel temperature, water temperature, also cut off, current gear, engine RPM, current speed, all your different lap times that you want to put on there, all the tires, temperature and pressure, and tire wear. You can even put tire wear on there. That's so cool. Yeah, so these are ones that you can just quickly drag onto your dash. Okay, but it's a number. You might as well just go select it yourself under telemetry. Okay, guys, that's it. If you have any questions about dash design that you're really struggling with, I would love to help you figure it out. So in the comments down below, you can just tell me, hey Ruan, I'm struggling with this. I would love to see this on the dash. Is this possible? And I will have a look at it for you. But that's it. Now, I just want to show you in game how it works using the dash that we've just created. Let's go. Virtual Motorheads. Assetto Corsa, the sim racing classic, the game that refuses to die and still have some of the best mod support out there. And yet somehow the CM2 Racing Dash is having a bit of an identity crisis. Now don't get me wrong, most of the telemetry works. I can see my gears, my speed, my RPMs, brake bias, yep, that's there. Lap times, also fine. But then we get to the quirks. First off, no ignition indicator. The car is turned on, but the dash is just like, cool story bro. but I'm not showing you that. Then we have the lights. Now I know they're on, I can see them with my own eyes, but the CM2, completely uninterested. Traction control, ABS, they are playing hide and seek. And then there's the gap time and position. Completely messed up. I don't know what the dash thinks is happening, but I'm pretty sure it's not the same race I'm driving. Now I don't know if this is a CM2 problem or an Assetto Corsa problem, but I do know this. SimHub doesn't have these issues. So Moza, we need to have a talk. Up next, Automobilista 2. A game with fantastic physics, amazing weather, and apparently a deep and personal hatred for my CM2 racing dash. Now I expected some minor quirks, but this was full-on meltdown. For starters, the pit limiter light kept flashing like my car was at a disco. Except I wasn't even in the pits. I'd be full throttle, flying down a straight, and my dash is just like, hey, you sure you don't want to slow down? No? Okay, just checking. Same issues as Assetto Corsa. Traction control, nowhere to be found. ABS, missing in action. And then of course we have the gap telemetry. I don't know who the dash thinks I'm racing, but it's definitely not the same cars as on my screen. Once again, I flip over to SimHub and everything just works. So Moza, I gotta ask, are we beta testing this dash for you? And now we arrive at Assetto Corsa Competizione, the game that, based on my experience, seems to be the chosen one for the CM2 racing dash. Gears, no problem. Speed, lap times, brake bias, beautiful. It's almost like Moza actually designed this dash specifically for ACC. But then there's one thing, the gap telemetry. I don't know what the CM2 is measuring, but I can promise you it's not the car in front of me. Maybe it's tracking some dude in another race, a driver from another universe. Either way, the number on my dash and the car ahead of me do not match. And of course, SimHub doesn't have this issue. I swear it's like SimHub and Moza are living in two different realities. So my dear Moza, I love this dash, but please, I beg you, let's sort out these weird quirks. I don't want my telemetry making up its own race results. Well, there you have it. As you can see, it's not that difficult to put together your own dash. But it's quite disappointing to see that the telemetry in Assetto Corsa and also Automobilista 2 is not being picked up by this dash. And I'm sure Moza is working on it. Maybe they released this dashboard too quickly, who knows. But Moza, if you're watching this video, you have to fix this, because this is a problem. And I'm actually going to say that I won't be using this dashboard until such time, until I can actually play it on my favorite sim racing games, which is Assetto Corsa and Automobilista 2. at this moment in time. The dashboard that I designed in this video, the download link is in the description below. Yeah, play around with it. Let me know what you think. And let me know if you're going to get this dash, even though it has its shortcomings. If you've designed any dashboards, please share them with me. I would love to try them out. Other than that, I'll see you next time.